Police are examining electoral fraud claims after a Tory MP mimicked Labour. And he's even mimicked reform. We're going to read into this piece from the Telegraph, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from the Telegraph with the headline of Police are examining electoral fraud claim after a Tory MP mimicked Labour. The matter being reviewed after posts of Robert Largan's social media referred to the Derbyshire constituency. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share this across social media so others are notified of this video. So what is this all about? Well, let me literally just show you it. So this is Conservative candidate Robert Largan, right? And this is one of the posts that he's put out on his social media here. In block red, and it says Labour for Largan there. And if we scroll down, here we go. It says reform for Robert. So this is, I'm sorry, but this is blatant misleading here, because you are saying that you are because this implies to people that he is the candidate for reform. This implies that he is the candidate for Labour in that area, which he is not. He's a Conservative candidate. This is blatant misleading in every way, shape or form. Now, whether or not he will face any kind of sanctions or penalties from the Electoral Commission, obviously will have to remain to be seen, because they are looking into it. But I will have to say it is blatant misrepresentation, and it is blatant misleading because of the colours and because of the wording and how it looks. And the thing is, there's no on that, and we'll just go back to it again, right? Because I'm looking at it now, right? There it is. Tiny. I don't know if you can see it on your screen from there, but you can see tiny, very tiny little detail there at the bottom there, saying that he's the Conservative candidate. I can just about see the word C, but even I can't see it there. And it'll be the same, yeah. Again, the same on the Reform one there. Tiny little bit there saying that he's actually a Conservative. But people don't look at the fine details of these things. So people will assume that he is the candidate for them. Now, I read, I watched a video recently from Kimmy Baganock, who was not so much defending it, but basically saying that she thinks, it's a very good thing, it's a good policy. That he's trying to appeal to Labour and Reform voters. And I have no problem with a candidate trying to appeal to other political party voters. I think that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to win voters over. Some of those who are undecided, some who are voting for other parties. If they want to be the MP for their area, they need to win over everybody. That's not the issue here. The issue is that you're claiming to represent a party that you're not. That's the problem that I have. And I'm sorry, but there are some people in this country who are too stupid to not realise that this isn't actually a Labour MP, or this isn't a Reform MP, because you literally have to look at the small print, and not everyone's going to look at the small print. They will literally walk past, they see a poster somewhere, seeing that Labour for Largan, for Robert Largan, right? They see that and they'll think, that's the Labour MP. I'm going to make sure I put my cross in the box at the general election for him then, without even a slight of thinking behind it at all. It's complete misrepresentation, blatant, and it's wrong. It is completely wrong. Yeah, the open and honesty in this general election is not going to be there. I've already said ages ago, when this election was kicked off, that there was going to be dirty, cheating, underhanded tactics, and that this is exactly what we're getting here. So let's read into this, you guys. So the police are examining claims of election fraud after a Tory MP appeared to campaign for other parties. Last night, Derbyshire Constable posted on social media that they had received multiple concerns around marketing material that would be reviewing the matter. It comes after Conservative MP Robert Largan was accused of pretending to campaign for both Labour and Reform UK in adverts published on social media. Yesterday morning, Mr Largan published an image on Twitter in red colours which said Labour for Largan. Mr. Largan captured the post. So many local Labour voters have told me they're going to vote for me because they want to keep me as their local MP. There are so many that I'm launching a new Labour for Largan club. The Conservative politician faced backlash on social media for the post, with one claiming he was pretending to be a Labour candidate. Another said, totally pathetic, have you got a reform for Largan one too? Now, whether or not, like, he's claiming that Labour voters want to vote for him. Now, whether that's true or not is another matter, obviously. But even if yeah, there are Labour voters that are switching to the Conservative, which not many are. Some maybe, but very, very few are. But in a local point of view, maybe that's right. That doesn't give you the right to claim that you are a Labour MP, because that's exactly the imagery that you are painting there. It's the wording, it's the picture and the image is the thing with it. Just look at it. Like, it's misleading. It's blatant misleading. And the problem is right, and this is the most infuriating thing for me, is that even if he's found guilty and he's told to take it all down and whatnot, yeah, on this end of reform, right, the damage has already been done. It's already out there. People have already seen it. People are going to buy into it. And there is this saying that any publicity is good publicity, and which is true. But there's also, like, deception and deceit, and that's exactly what this is. It's deception and deceit is what this is. In response, the Tory MP published another image bearing the slogan "Reform for Robert." Like the red advert, it featured a photo of Mr. Largan, but this time with the background in shades of blue used by Reform UK. Last night, Derbyshire Constable posted on X, formerly Twitter, to confirm that it received a number of messages in relation to claims of election fraud raised due to concerns around marketing material. An incident has been created and will be reviewed, the post said. A spokesperson for the Conservative Party told the BBC the materials clearly carry imprints as required by electoral law. Yeah, but it's in tiny little small print, and people aren't going to be looking at that print. Like, if there was like a badge in the top right-hand corner saying Conservative MP candidate for Robert or something like that, that indicates that he is a Conservative MP, that would be a different story. But it doesn't show that. It doesn't show that. That's the thing that's wrong about it. The Telegraph understands Robert Largan has not been contacted by police, and his spokesperson told this newspaper that he had done nothing wrong. What he's done is lied to people, is what he's doing. He said, as Mr. Largan's social media posts and websites make abundantly clear, large numbers of traditional Labour voters have been contacting him to tell him that they plan to vote for him. Again, doesn't matter whether they are going to vote for him or not. Doesn't give him the right to mislead other people into believing that he's a candidate for the Labour Party when he is not a candidate for the Labour Party. That doesn't give you the right to mislead other people. Despite him being a Conservative candidate, and the same goes for Reform supporters. This is because of Mr. Largan's strong record of delivering in High Peak. Therefore, supporter clubs of traditional Labour and Reform voters have been set up to allow people to tell Mr. Largan that they're supporting him. These are calls for Labour for Largan and Reform for Robert. Such supporter clubs are not a new phenomenon. Again, like here, again, it doesn't say that he is the Conservative candidate. This is not the first time that Mr. Largan's tactics have faced criticism. Last year, he was accused of trying to mislead the public by trying to pass off a political leaflet as an independent newspaper. I believe we covered this. I've covered this. This was a story from Barline Times they tried to do as well. Concerns were raised after the MP issued a newsletter titled High Peak Reporter, in which was the name of a defunded independent newspaper previously published in Derbyshire. The High Peak Reporter circulating from 1887 to 1998 and is still owned by Quest Media Network. Chris Bird, Quest owner, told the BBC it's not right to pass off a political leaflet in association with a known independent newspaper. The MP's office had previously issued an apology, insisted that it had made a genuine mistake. The spokesperson for Mr. Largan added that it's worth pointing out that all of Mr. Largan's election leaflets clearly state that he's a Conservative candidate and are in full compliance with the electoral law. Where it's not that, it's not... The problem is the imprint is too small for people to see. He's very well known in the High Peaks and local Conservative candidate. And yet he still paints and portrays himself as a Reform and a Labour one. He said cheap, dirty tactics. It's not right. Should not be allowed to stand. His name will appear on the ballot paper as Conservative candidate. Nobody voting in High Peaks could possibly be confused on this point. No, but it still doesn't change the fact that some people aren't going to be paying attention to these things. Those claiming otherwise appear to have very low opinion peak of the people of High Peak. No, you're misleading people. There's no around this. I'm sorry, if anyone is trying to defend this, they're blatantly lies. This is blatant misrepresentation, misleading. Yeah, you're putting the color of the political party on your poster. You're putting the name of the political party on your poster. How much more blatant misleading do you need to get here? I'm sorry, if you might think that this is perfectly acceptable, that this is perfectly all right. But I'm looking at that and I'm saying to myself, how is that okay? It's not okay, guys. It's not. There's no justification for this whatsoever. I really hope he gets the kicking. I hope he gets kicked to the curb and he loses his seat for misleading people. Yeah, because you're saying he's a well-known candidate. Well, there's some people in the Derbyshire Constabulary that don't care about politics, that are living out their lives like normal people, and then they're going to be seeing that poster around and they're going to assume that he's representing Labour or representing Reform. Not everyone knows about their local MP. Not everybody is tuned into politics. Not everybody knows about every single thing about their politician. There's a lot of people in the UK who are turned off by politics. Some are more engaged now in politics, yeah, over the past couple of years since Brexit. But some are completely disengaged from politics. And there will be people, I don't give a crap what they say, yeah, about defending this, yeah. There will be people, lots of people in those constituencies, in these areas, who don't know who their candidates are. They don't even know who their MP is. And they will see that and be misled. And it's not right in any way, shape or form. I hope he gets kicked to the curb. I really hope he does. Yeah, for blatant misleading. And this is the guy this is the same guy that's obviously been trying to cheat tactics with independent papers as well. Deserves to get kicked. Deserves to get kicked. So I hope people in that area go to the website stopthetories.org and vote this piece of crap out. Because, yeah, people like that don't deserve any place in Parliament. Well, what do you guys think? What do you guys make of him mimicking, pretending to be Labour and Reform, which he blatantly is there? And if you vehemently disagree, why do you vehemently disagree with my opinion on this? Because quite clearly, yeah, we may be engaged in politics, but the average Joe on the street is not going to know that. The average Joe on the street is not going to know that person is a Conservative. And when it comes to on that day, right there on that ballot box, yeah, the badges are there, but they will sometimes may not even look at that and still put their cross in the wrong box, voting for someone that they don't want to vote for. But let me know what you guys think about this story and more in the comment section down below. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video. And subscribe, because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to catch you all very, very soon.